Good morning. Oh, that's it. I've just got the camera set up just in time, just at the right angle. So I hope you can all see me. Wonderful. Okay. Good morning. So this is a really exciting day because it's day one of the Strung and Supple workshop. I'm really excited because it's the first time that I've run a workshop online in the group like this. So yeah, I'm really excited to be here and run this for you today. Now I've got lots of things to tell you. I've had to write it all down because otherwise there's bound to be something I'm going to forget. Now we'll just hang on just a minute or two, just to make sure everybody who wants to join us live is on. Okay, so good morning as you're joining on. Now I'm going to try something. Oh, it's working. Oh, that's it. I've got my pad because what I want to do is I can't see the comments. If anybody types any comments, I'm too far away from the screen when I'm on the mat. So I've got my pad in the hope that if anybody types any comments on, I can see them. And it looks like it's working. Just need to test it out though, really, don't we? So shall we all say good morning? Just pop in the comments below. Just type hello. Just say hello to me. And I know you're watching. I know who's joining us, and I know that this is all working. So if anyone's got any questions later on, then I'll just be able to have a little glance and have a look. So just a quick hello. Let me know you're there. I know there's some of you watching because I can see. Right, okay then, so while you're typing that in then, let me tell you, what's the first thing I'm going to tell you? I'm going to quickly recap what we're going to do this week. So every morning now for the rest of the week, I'm going to be here live in the group today, tomorrow and Thursday at 10:30, same time. We're going to have a different theme each day. Today, it's all about lengthening and stretching. Tomorrow, it's all about mobilizing your spine. And Thursday, it's all about strength and control. Thursday is probably the most challenging of the sessions that we're going to do. Not too challenging, but today is a nice, easy one just to break you in gently. Okay, wonderful. So what we're going to be doing today, so we're looking at lengthening and stretching out the body. Why do we want to do that? Well, if we can keep ourselves nice and supple, nicely stretched, it just helps us to move easier. So if you've got any tightness, we can help to lengthen that out, stretch out the muscles so you just find it easier to move. Your arms will move easier, you'll have more movement through the shoulders. And as you practice the stretching regularly and practice lengthening out your body with certain moves, everything just feels easier. And just after today's session, hopefully you'll feel a little bit more stretched, a little bit more lengthened. Now, I'm doing this one today because I thought it would be a good one to start with. It's a nice, gentle one just to get us started off with. But I work with a lot of people who come to me because they suffer with tension and tightness in the muscles. And sometimes all they need is just to open out the body a little bit and just do a little bit of flexibility work. I'll give you an example. Someone who has spent their career sitting at a desk. Okay. Well, I mean, most of us sit a lot anyway, don't we? That's what we do more than anything. We do a lot of sitting. But what happens when you're sitting? It just tightens up the front of the body. So you're sitting with the hips flexed, so everything at the front of the hips there tightens up a little bit. We sort of come forwards a little bit in the upper body as well. So the chest muscles will tighten up a little bit. And sometimes if you're not sitting as upright as you should be, we get stuck in this position. And if it gets really bad and you've been like this for some time, you'll get to the point where you find it difficult to move your head, it hurts to move your head, or you just haven't got much movement, much range of movement, and you might find it's difficult just to reach up with your arm as well. So we don't want that. We want to keep the muscles supple and flexible so that we can move easily. We can reach up to that top cupboard in the kitchen and get those tins down quite easily without any trouble. Okay, so that's what today is all about, lengthening out the body and having a really good stretch. Is that it? That's all I have to tell you about today in a nutshell. Okay. Have we got some people watching? We have. Oh, there's quite a few of you now. Wonderful. Oh, look, there's some comments. Now the question is, can I see them? Hang on, just bear with me a minute. Who have we got? Oh, so we've got hello Sue, Bernadette. Sounds like there's a window open. There isn't. There isn't a window open. It might be. It might be. I don't know what it is. I can't hear anything in here, so I'm not quite sure what that is. Hello Sheila, Karen, and Stephanie. Kim, nice of you to join in. I'm a little quiet, am I? Oh, hang on. I'll have a look at that. Then I'll shuffle over to here. Let me just see if I can. Just do something with the volume. Let's see how that goes. Hopefully that's a little better. If not, I'll just have to talk a bit louder, won't I? So morning Michelle and Sue and Carolyn. Oh, and there's some more people as well just popping on. Wonderful. So lots of you. That's great. Fantastic. So who's ready to start? Are you ready to get going? Pop me another comment in the bottom. Just type yes so I know you're raring to go and you want to start. Now, today I've got, how many exercises have I got? I've only got 5 exercises to do. Okay, so it's going to be a nice short little session. I didn't want to do too many. Okay, I just wanted to keep it nice and short with some simple exercises so that you can go away and there isn't too much to remember, so that you can go away and do them later on today. And when I was thinking about it, I thought, oh, we could do like a daily task, couldn't we? So that's what I'm going to ask you to do. So we're going to have a go at these exercises now. And at the end, I'm going to ask you to pick your favourite one. So just be aware, as you're going through the exercises, which one feels really good? Which one do you like doing? Okay, because I'm going to ask you to pick your favourite one at the end. Okay, now, what do we need? We better get started, haven't we? I've been waffling on long enough. So what you'll need is a mat, if you've got one, or just something just comfy to lie on if you haven't got a mat. A towel, just a hand towel, just to support your head a little bit when you're lying on your back. Now, I've got a yoga block because we're going to do a little bit of side lying, I thought, this morning, so we can really lengthen out the legs and open out the hip a little bit. If you haven't got one of these, don't worry. Grab an extra couple of towels, or if you've got a cushion handy, that will do. Okay, we just need our head lifted a little bit more when we're in a side lying position. We will do that in a little while. So, if you're not sitting on your mats, now I think it's time to come down onto your mat. Now, before we start today's session, I just want you to check in with how you're feeling at the minute. How is your body feeling this morning? How did you feel when you got up this morning, when you got out of bed? How did you feel? Could you feel any stiffness, any tension anywhere? Any aches in your body? Were you doing something yesterday and it feels a little stiff today? Just be aware of how your body feels at the moment. And just remember that feeling, what it feels like. Okay, and then I'm going to ask you again at the end what it feels like. So let's get started then, shall we? So we're going to lie on our back, okay, because it's a nice position to start in. So you'll need your towel, okay, just to rest your head on, okay. Now we're going to set ourselves up on the mat. We've got the feet and knees hip width apart, okay, so the legs aren't together, they're slightly apart, okay. Now, the one thing I'm going to focus on a little bit on these first couple of exercises is finding that neutral position. Okay, now your neutral position is the ideal position that your spine needs to be in. So I'm just going to very quickly talk you through that so that your lower back is nice and supported as you're doing the first couple of exercises. So to find neutral, we're just going to tilt the pelvis backwards and forwards a little bit. So you can see as I'm doing that, I'm just arching and flattening the back a little bit. Okay. But I don't want to finish with the back too arched, okay? And I don't want the lower back really flat like it's squashing into the mat either. I just want to find that midpoint, okay, where I've just got a little bit of a curve in the lower back. So if you take your hand, you should just be able to get the tops of your fingers underneath, and then you know you're in the correct position. If your whole hand goes all the way through, you're probably still a bit too arched, so you just need to flatten just a little bit more, okay? So that's neutral position. So on these first couple of exercises, I want you to just make sure that you start and finish in this position. Okay, so we're going to start with the arms down by the side. The shoulders are nice and relaxed. We'll do a leg one to start with. So we can start to open out the front of the hips a little bit. Okay, so I normally talk a lot about breathing in Pilates because it's really important, but I know that there's some people that haven't done a lot of Pilates before. I don't want to confuse you with talking about too many different things, so I'm not going to focus on the breathing today. Okay, we're just going to focus on the movement. So what I want you to do with one leg now, keeping the foot on the floor, is just slide the leg away. Slide it away until it's nice and straight, and then slide it all the way back in again. And then we'll slide the other one away, straightening out the leg, and then slide it all the way back in again. And off we go again. We'll slide the other leg away. So we're sliding the legs in and out, nice and easy to start with. So it should give you a chance to just make sure that you're still in that neutral position. So make sure your back isn't arching. You can always get your hand again and just check, can't you? Make sure it's just tops of the fingers that can go under the waist, no more than that. Nice and steady with the legs. So all the movements we do in Pilates, they're nice and controlled. And the more we get used to doing the exercises, we can make them really precise. That's it, wonderful. I think we'll rest there for a second, shall we? That's a nice, easy one. Now, what if we challenged our coordination a little bit more this time? Challenge this positioning through the center to make sure we can stay in neutral. So we're going to do this one with the arms up to the ceiling. We're going to do the same legs again. Only this time, as one leg goes out, we're going to send the opposite arm overhead. And then we're just going to bring everything back to our starting position. And then we'll take the other leg out. Opposite arm goes overhead. And then bring everything back to our starting position. And again. So we're working opposite arm to leg. Okay, so it's challenging your coordination a little bit this time, but it's also challenging you to stay in that neutral position. Okay, it makes it harder to stay in neutral when you put arms and legs together. Okay, so just be aware now. Just make sure that your lower back isn't lifting out of the mat. Keep that nice little curve. Wonderful. I think we'll just do one more on the other leg. Lengthening out and return, and then we can lower the arms. So that was a nice exercise to start with. It opened out the hips a little bit, okay, straightening out the legs, and also got the arms working as well, so we can get a little bit more movement through the shoulders. Okay, we're going to stay in that neutral position. Let's do a different one for the legs then this time. So we're going to take the leg up in the air. So one leg, we're just going to float it up. We're going to bring it into this position. Now from here, we're going to lengthen out the leg. We're going to straighten it out. But when we get to this point, we want to see if we can keep the knees roughly side by side at this point. Okay, and then we'll float the knee back in a little bit, and then we can lower the foot back down to the floor. And then we'll do it with the other leg. So we float the knee up first. We're going to straighten out the leg. Bring the knee back towards the chest. And then lower the foot down, and then we'll do it again. So we float the knee. So the whole time I'm still staying in neutral, okay? I'm getting the legs as straight as I can as they go out. Nice and straight. And then we'll lower that foot down. We'll rest there a second. We're going to have to add the arms in again, aren't we? So this time we're just working on a little bit more of that shoulder mobility, lengthening and stretching the muscles around the shoulders. So we'll take the arms up to the ceiling. This time we're going to send both arms overhead, okay? We're going to do the arms, we're going to take them overhead as we straighten the leg. So let's have a little go, shall we? We're going to float one knee up first. Now we're going to straighten that leg, and this is when we send the arms overhead. Send them back as far as they will go. Bring the arms back in, knee comes back to the chest, and then we lower the foot. Then we do it on the other leg. So we float the knee, straighten out the arms and legs, bring everything back to center, and lower the foot back down. Let's try it again on the other side. Float the knee. Straighten everything out. Get that nice length. Bring it back to center and lower. And again, float the knee. Lengthen out the arms and legs. Wonderful. We're just going to do one more on each leg. Now, I know we've got lots to think about, but are you still in that neutral position? Okay, so you've still just got that little curve in the lower back. Don't let it arch too much. Here we go. Lengthen everything out. Last one. Come back to center and lower. Wonderful. We'll relax the arms down. Wonderful. So those are our first two, focusing on opening out the hips and just getting a little bit more movement through the shoulders. We're going to change position. So we're just going to roll to our side so we can push ourselves up. So we're going to come into a sideline position this time. So this is when you need a little bit of extra support underneath your head. So if you've got spare towels, okay, or if you've got a cushion handy, okay, you can put your cushion and your towel together, okay, that will work nicely, just so that your head is just lifted a little bit more off the floor this time. Okay, so on the next couple of exercises, we're going to look at lengthening out the legs and opening out the front of the hip again. So this time, we're going to come down, we're going to rest our head down on our hip support, and we're going to have the arms out in front, okay? My knees are bent, and I've got my feet roughly in line with my spine, okay? So we're in this position. Okay, so what we're going to do from here is we're going to float the top leg up and we're going to lengthen it out. So we want to be in a nice straight line now. So just have a little glance down. We want to have ankle, knee, hip and shoulder all in a nice straight line. From here, we're going to do a little lift and lower. So we're just going to float the leg up just a little bit and then bring it back down to hip height. And then we do it again. So I'm not going to talk about the breathing. I was almost going to go into the breathing then. It's just such a habit. I do all the time, but I won't talk about the breathing. So we're just going to float the leg just a little bit. We don't want to take it too high, okay? But we want to make sure that when it comes down that the foot doesn't go all the way to the floor. So it finishes at hip height. That's it. Okay, wonderful. Let's just do one more, shall we? So get that leg as straight as you can as you float up for the last time. Wonderful. Bring those legs together. Okay, now we'll do one more to lengthen out the legs, open out the front of the hip. We're going to do some little leg circles this time. So we'll float that top leg up, we'll lengthen it out again. Make sure you're in a nice straight line again. Now this time, imagine someone's got a hold of your foot and they're just pulling your leg now. So your leg is as straight as you can get it. Now from here, can you do some nice little leg circles? Nice and small. Don't want to make them too big. Wonderful. And then we'll change direction. Okay, nice and small. You can take a breather anytime, just bring the legs together if you need a break. Okay, we'll do one more circle around, and then we can bring those legs back together. Fabulous. Okay, so those are our two for the legs to lengthen and open out the hip. Now, this last one now, this sideline position is going to open out the front of the chest and give you a nice stretch through the chest and through the shoulders. We're going to do an arm opening. So what we're going to do with this one is we're going to take our top arm and we're going to take it up to the ceiling. So you're going to take your hand up to the ceiling and you're just going to carry on and stop when you feel a little bit of pulling through the front of the shoulder and through the front of the chest. Hold that position just for a second, and then we can bring the arms back together. Wonderful. And then we'll do it again. So we're going to open out the arm, turn your head to the hand as it goes. So when you feel that bit of pulling, just hold it there just for a second or two, and then bring those arms back together. Now this is a really nice exercise because so many of us get tight through the front of the chest. And it's a really nice one to open out the chest, give us a nice little stretch, and allow a little bit more movement through the shoulders. Hold it for a couple of seconds. Wonderful. And then we'll bring those arms back together. Okay. Now we need to do the other side, don't we? So let's push ourselves up. I'm going to switch sides. So we want to lie on the other side this time. We're going to set ourselves up as the same again, in the same position. Okay, so you've got the arms out in front. The knees are bent, the feet are roughly in line with the spine. Okay, so the first one we did was that little lift and lower, wasn't it? So we're going to float the leg up again. We're going to lengthen out the leg, make sure everything's in a nice straight line. And then here we go. We're going to float the top leg up just a little bit and then bring it back down to hip height. And then float the leg up again and bring it back down to hip height. Off we go. Float it up and back down. Wonderful. Nice and steady. Nice and controlled. Don't want to rush it. And again, imagine someone's got a hold of your foot and they're just pulling your leg, trying to get that leg as straight as you can. That's it. Wonderful. Here we go. Should we make this the last one? Wonderful. Legs come back together for a second. Okay. Let's have a go at that little leg circle. A bit more challenging, this one, to keep that leg up in the air. But we're going to take it out again. Take the leg to about hip height. Make sure you're nicely lined up. Because if you've got a nice line through the body, it will keep that hip nicely open. Okay, let's circle. Nice small circles. Don't need to make it too big. Nice and controlled. Wonderful. Let's change direction. Nice and steady. Fabulous. Okay, let's bring those legs back together. Wonderful. Okay, so let's open out the other side of the chest this time and the other shoulder with that arm opening. So we're going to take that top hand, we're going to take it up to the ceiling, then we're just going to keep it going. We're going to open out the chest until we start to feel that bit of pulling, and then just hold it there. Just for a couple of seconds. And then bring those arms back together. And off we go again. Open out the arm. Hold it out there. Feel that nice little bit of a stretch. And then bring the arms back together. Off we go again. Opening out the arm. Wonderful. A really nice one. Just to relax the upper part of the body. It's a really nice one, this is. I teach this one an awful lot. And then I think we'll make this our last one, so we'll just bring those arms back together. I feel like we should finish off with something. So I'm just going to move my yoga block away. So I've just got that towel under my head. I'm just going to roll onto my back again. So we'll come back into that same position that we started with. And because we've been stretching and lengthening the body, we could just take a moment just to really just relax the body a little bit, and we will focus a little bit on the breathing this time, because the breathing is fantastic at helping you to relax. So nice and simply now, all I want you to do is to take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more time, breathing in through the nose and out. Now we could add some arms into this. So as you take a breath in this time, just float the arms up, send them overhead, send them back as far as you can. And then as you breathe out, just bring the arms all the way back down onto the mats. And again, breathing in, arms go up and over. Breathing out, they float all the way back down again. Here we go, one more time, nice deep breath in. And then breathing out. We bring them all the way back down. Just resting the arms down at the end. Wonderful. Now we need to come back to sitting. So roll onto your side and then just push yourself back up. Oh, that's it. Oh, I feel nice and relaxed now after that. Okay, so let's just sit on the mat for a second. Just sitting there, or you can sit on the chair if you want to, if you find that's comfier. Okay, now just be aware of your body again. How are you feeling now? How does it feel? Does everything feel a little bit more open? Does the chest feel a little bit more open? Do you feel a little bit more stretched? Maybe you just feel a little bit more relaxed. Maybe you've been rushing around all morning and now you can just feel yourself a little bit calmer, a little bit more relaxed. Just taking, I don't know how long that's taken, maybe 10 minutes just to do a few little exercises, just to stretch out and lengthen your body. And I just want you to be aware of that now, how you're feeling compared to how you felt at the beginning of the session. And just remember that, okay? Write it down in a minute if you want to, okay? But just remember that feeling of what you feel like now compared to what you felt like before we started, or when you got up this morning, when you got out of bed, okay? So I'm just going to have another little look over here, see if anybody else has left me any more messages. Okay, seems to be a little issue with the sound. I hope everybody can hear me okay. Right, okay, so if you remember, before we started, I said I'm going to ask you to pick your favourite exercise. So out of those that we've just done, okay, which one felt really good to you? Maybe it was the arm opening, getting that nice stretch through the chest. Maybe it's that first one we did where we were lengthening out the legs and sending the opposite arm overhead. Whichever one it was, whichever one you enjoyed doing the most and you felt you got the most benefit from, it felt really good, what I want you to do is I want you to do that exercise again later today. So before you go to bed tonight, just spend 1 minute. It doesn't need to be long. Just spend a minute and just do that exercise again. So not only will it help you remember the exercise, but quite often improving our flexibility and just our general movement and mobility through our body. It's all about staying consistent with the exercises that we do. So if we just do regular little bits every day, it will all mount up. And over time, we'll be able to start to move much freelier and easily through the body. So that is your task for today. Pick your favourite exercise and try it out again before you go to bed tonight. Okay, so just check my notes. What else have I got to tell you? Shall I just tell you what we're doing tomorrow? I'm back tomorrow. It's day 2. Tomorrow we are focusing on the spine. Okay, I see an awful lot of people, they come to me with just a lot of just general stiffness sometimes. Some people say, well, I've got a weak back, I have trouble picking things up, my back goes. And generally all it is sometimes, it's just the muscles in the lower part of the back. The muscles in the lower part of the back are really small. They're not really designed to bend over and pick up heavy things, but we just do it all the time, don't we? And that's when we tend to pull those muscles a little bit, or if we've been in the garden and moving things about a little bit, we get that stiffness in the lower back. Just because those muscles in the lower back are just quite small and they don't like lifting heavy things. So I'm going to show you some exercises tomorrow that will just help to ease any stiffness in the lower back, really mobilize all of those joints in your spine. That is coming up tomorrow. I don't think I've got any more questions from anybody. Have we? No? Wonderful. Okay then. If you think of anything after we finish in a second and you want to ask me something, just drop them in the comments below and I will answer those. I'll probably answer them tomorrow in tomorrow's session. I think that's it. I've got nothing else on my list I need to tell you. Wonderful. So how was that? Did you enjoy it? I did. I really enjoyed doing that. It was great. So we've got 2 more days in the group. Okay, so tomorrow, 10:30, and on Thursday, Friday, it's a Zoom session, so it's a bonus session if you want to join me for that. I'll tell you more about that tomorrow, okay? So don't forget your daily task, do your exercise again a bit later on today, and I think that's it. We'll leave it there, shall we? So enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.